KOAM Noon at News. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy, and today's top story has been made in the lawsuit filed by Terrell Ellis' family against the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office after alleged negligence led to Terrell's wrongful death while in their custody in 2015. According to court documents, it all started back in October of 2015 when Terrell Ellis turned himself in for a DUI warrant to the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office. The court documents say at the time he was in good health, but things changed quickly after that. 12 days later, he would be dead. We need to warn you that some of the content that you're about to see may be disturbing to viewers. The suit names the Ottawa County Board of County Commissioners Sheriff Jeremy Floyd, but only in his official capacity, as well as several now former employees of the jail and Integris Miami EMS. The suit claims that the on-site healthcare providers failed to provide adequate care to Ellis, and that the Integris EMS providers that showed up are also liable because they didn't take Ellis to the hospital, citing their actions as negligent. According to the court records, the medical examiner determined the cause of death to be septic shock and pneumonia. Terrell Ellis' family estate filed their lawsuit in 2017 against the Ottawa County Sheriff. The case was handled by the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Oklahoma. According to court docs, the jury states Ottawa County Sheriff, in his official capacity, violated Mr. Ellis's constitutional right to adequate medical care. On Wednesday, a jury verdict awarded the Ellis family estate $33 million. A water boil advisory, HSA, has been issued for a portion of Montgomery County. The Kansas Department of Health and Environment has issued a boil water advisory for a portion of the Montgomery County Rural Water District 20CA. Impacted customers are those residing north of Highway 166, with customer bills starting with number 11. KDHE officials issued the advisory earlier today because of a loss of pressure. Failure to maintain adequate pressure may result in a loss of chlorine, residuals, and bacterial contamination. Regardless of whether the Public Water Supply or KDHE announced a boil water advisory, only KDHE can issue the rescind order following testing at a certified laboratory. And now let's take it over to Chris Warner for a look at today's forecast.
Yeah, we still have our alert days going all the way through Friday because we still have excessive heat warnings through Friday for Kansas and Missouri until 10 o'clock Friday night. Now, some semi-good news. The excessive heat warnings in northeast Oklahoma will expire this evening at 8 and will be replaced with heat advisories as we head into Friday. That doesn't mean the heat is any less dangerous. It just means our heat index values in some locations may be a pinch cooler than where they have been, but that heat, again, still dangerous out there. Yesterday started at 80 degrees, well above average, and made it to 97. Again, quite a bit above average out there, but thankfully not quite to record high levels. But temperatures already heating up pretty good out there. Look at out to the west. Neodesha, Sedan, both at 100, 99 in Parsons, 98 Independence. Got 92 Pittsburgh, Lamar, 93 Joplin, Carthage, Miami, and 92 in Neosho. And you factor in those dew points, and it is miserable. 104 in Webb City, 106 in Lamar, 106 in the 8th Center as well. Feels like 107 in Commerce. Feels like 110 in Newada. And look at Nevada and Stockton, both feeling like 111 degrees. So this hasn't changed a lot, continuing to track the dangerous heat through tomorrow. And our heat index values, as you know, they have been going up to 120. They're looking to start capping about 115. So that's what I mean. They're down a bit, but that's still at a dangerous level. And our pop-up storm chances are going to begin to increase across the area. We'll take a look at those storm chances and when the cool down gets here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Former President Donald Trump is expected to surrender to Georgia authorities later today to face charges of conspiring to undermine the last election. It will be the fourth time since April that the 2024 presidential candidate has been arrested. Christian Benavides has the latest from Atlanta.
Supporters of Donald Trump gathered near the Fulton County Jail just hours before the former president surrenders to face charges over alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. He is expected to be treated like any other defendant during the booking process, which could include the first ever mugshot of a former U.S. president.
I got indicted 4 times. All trivia, nonsense.
Trump once again denied any wrongdoing during an online interview with Tucker Carlson last night.
You don't have any right to challenge, and if you challenge an election, we're going to indict you and put you in jail.
With security tight, Trump is expected to make a very brief appearance. His bond has already been set at $200,000. Trump was indicted with 18 co-defendants. Some of them have already surrendered, including his former personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who was charged with 13 counts for pushing false election claims in Georgia.
This indictment is a travesty. I'm being prosecuted for defending American citizens.
Late Wednesday, a federal judge denied requests from two co-defendants, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and ex-Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark. Both wanted to delay their surrender, but will now have to turn themselves in by Friday or face a warrant for their arrest. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Atlanta.
Trump is already facing federal charges in Florida and Washington, along with state charges in New York. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. The first Republican presidential debate was last night. We have the highlights of everything you missed. And later, we're making Amish pickled beets in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Stay tuned. Republican presidential candidates squared off in the first debate of campaign 2024 in Milwaukee last night. The debate featured plenty of disagreements on a variety of issues. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
Candidates didn't hold back as they tried to stand out among a crowded field of GOP presidential hopefuls in a debate on Fox News Channel.
Now is not the time for on-the-job training. We don't need to bring in a rookie. We don't need to bring in people without experience.
38-year-old entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy drew the most attacks as he staked out views which highlighted divisions within the Republican Party.
I'm the only person on the stage who isn't bought and paid for, so I can say this. The climate change agenda is a hoax. The climate change agenda is a hoax.
The candidates were asked to raise their hands if they believe in man-made climate change.
Is climate change real? Yes, it is.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley appeared on CBS Mornings and spoke out against Republicans wanting to cut off support for Ukraine, including former President Donald Trump.
We saw Russia and China hold hands before the Olympics and name themselves unlimited partners. A win for Russia is a win for China. Trump declined to attend the debate on the eve of turning himself in on charges in Georgia of conspiring to overturn the 2020 election.
Someone's got to stop normalizing this conduct.
CBS News political analyst John Dickerson said despite his absence, it was still a good night for Trump.
There was no challenger that emerged. The field is still roughly sorting itself out. Every day that it sorts itself out, that's better for him.
When asked to raise their hands if they would support Trump as the party's nominee, even if he's convicted, only former governors Chris Christie of New Jersey and Asa Hutchinson of Arkansas said they would not. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The next GOP primary debate is scheduled for next month on September 27th at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California. And it was just Republicans campaigning last night. Democratic presidential hopeful Robert F. Kennedy Jr. visited Richmond. He is one of 2 candidates challenging President Joe Biden for the 2024 presidential nomination. At the event, Kennedy criticized President Biden's response to the war in Ukraine and the Maui wildfires. He also talked about one of his goals with his presidential run. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the nephew of President John F. Kennedy. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
Here's a little bit of veggie humor. What did one beet say to the other after running the marathon?
You're going to have to stick around to find out.
But first, we've got the dangerous heat. However, relief is on the way. We're going to take a look at that forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So as we've talked, we've still got the dangerous heat to contend with. I know it's just been on a repeating record all week about this dangerous heat, but I have great news. Relief is on the way, and then we get to stop talking about this dangerous heat. Let's talk about what first round of potential relief we're going to see, at least one type of potential relief, and that is the possibility of some rain. Now, as we head into this evening, there's a very low chance, but it's not zero, of some isolated pop-up showers and storms. So here we are at 6 o'clock, the future track giving its best guess as to where we could see a couple of pop-up storms and showers out there. So that's not to say that these will happen exactly where the future track says, but there's at least that possibility of a stray shower or two this evening. Like I said, it's about a 5 to 10% chance, but that is better than a 0% chance. But don't worry, you're looking at that going, great, how does that help us? Well, it helps if I don't flap my arms around and then I press buttons. How it helps us? Well, that doesn't, but this will start to as we head into Friday afternoon. They're still fairly isolated to widely scattered, but you can see we get another potential round of some pop-up showers and storms as we head through Friday afternoon and into the evening hours. And then, of course, those die out. Then we go into Saturday morning. There's still a lot to watch. Unfortunately, I've got to be perfectly honest with you. There's still a lot to watch. We may not see all of this, but we do have slightly better chances of some showers and storms early Saturday morning and into just after sunrise before that clears out. And then again, later in the evening, a few additional showers and maybe a couple of thunderstorms late Saturday evening into early Sunday morning. So take a look at that. That looks a lot better across the area. So we've still got to watch it. Some variables in play as to whether or not it unfolds exactly like that, but we do have some slightly better rain chances in our future. Between now and then, though, MoDOT camera 32nd and range line. That sun beaten down. Same from the MoDOT camera at 60 and 59 on the south side of Neosho. Sunny skies out there, just a handful of clouds. And from our camera at 7, not this isn't 7, the range line. This is our studios right here north of Crestline. You can see some of those clouds out there, but not much. A quick look at KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. Once again, plentiful sunshine out there. So a quick reminder, excessive heat warnings for Kansas and Missouri through 10 o'clock tomorrow night. The ones in northeast Oklahoma will expire at 8 this evening and then tomorrow be replaced by heat advisories out there. Now our camera at 7th and range line. You can see for the most part, we've got blue skies, a handful of clouds. We're sitting at 93, feels like 104 because our dew point did manage to come up a little bit, but it's not as high as it has been lately. 92 in Pittsburgh, sunny skies, dew point 77. That makes it feel like 106. And temperatures around the region, again, already heating up out to the west. Sedan, Neodesha at 100. 99 Parsons, 96 in Chanute, 94 Nevada, 95 Stockton, 93 Miami, 92 Neosho. And then we look at those dew points, and again, they're a little better than where they have been. They are, for the most part, mid to upper 70s, but you can see we've got some lower 70s out there as well. So anywhere from muggy to soupy to miserable on the dew point tracker, depending on where you are. And the impact it's having, it's a little hotter. Nevada, Stockton, both feels like 111, 108 Fort Scott, 105 Parsons and Neodesha. And as we go down the road, we're going to continue to see these high heat index values as we go into our Friday. And then take a look. I don't know why the colors disappeared, but we still have a slight heat index Saturday. And then it starts to get better. Quick reminder, you got to stay hydrated, take frequent breaks, limit those strenuous outdoor activities. And of course, if you can, just simply stay indoors until we get through all of this heat. Because those heat index values, 105 to 115, heat exhaustion likely, heat stroke possible. Still looking at 100 degrees as we head into the afternoon for the high. And those heat index values to 115. Through the evening, it stays pretty darn warm as we go through the evening hours. And our lows tonight, yeah, they're up there, upper 70s, low 80s. Our alert day again continues into Friday with the triple digits. Then by Saturday, it's still hot, low 90s. Sunday and into next week, look at those temperatures. They look so wonderful as we go back into the mid to upper 80s across the area. So just a couple more days, and we're going to get out of this heat wave.
We're going to make it, Chris.
We're going to make it. We're doing pretty well. We've got a couple more days, and we got some great temperatures ahead of us and rain chances.
All right, dog days are over. Let's hope. Well, stick around. We're making Amish pickled beets in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time now to check in with Howard and the Mr. Food kitchen staff. Today, he's making a recipe that goes great with salads, on a sandwich, or just as a snack on its own. It's called Amish pickled beets. Take a look.
Here's one for you. What did one beet say to the other after running the marathon?
I have no idea.
I'm beat.
Oh, geez, so Howard.
All right, bad joke, but at least I've got a great recipe today. All kidding aside, I remember my grandmother loved beets. While fresh beets are available year long, right now they're at their peak. so we're finding lots of them in our market. The most popular way to cook these is to pickle them. All you do is cut off the leafy part, keeping about 2 inches of the stem on. That helps them retain their color while they cook. Once they're tender like these, we drain them, and you can save the liquid to make borscht like my grandmother did. Now, this is the part where you'll want to put on some plastic gloves, or you'll end up with purple fingers. We trim the ends, and with our fingers, we sort of slip the skins off. Then we slice them, and back into the pot they go, along with some water, sugar, apple cider vinegar, and a bit of salt. We'll let them boil for a couple more minutes. And even with your gloves on, if you get any beet juice on your hands, like I always seem to, scrub them with a mixture of salt and warm water, and you're good to go. You can add these to your salad, serve them next to a sandwich, or eat them as is. To get the recipe for our Amish pickled beets, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found
unbeatable way
for you to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
To find this recipe along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. And now here's a look at your 4-state market prices.
Excessive heat warnings continue for most of us through today and tomorrow. That's why those alert days are still there. Triple digits today, triple digits again tomorrow. Pop-up storms tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And by the time we hit Sunday, these temperatures finally come down into the mid to upper 80s. Much better. And look at those lows in the low to mid 60s. So you can give that AC a break here in a few more days.
Thank goodness.
Yes, that looks wonderful. And Dow, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, a lot coming up at 5. For starters, a new possibility in the wine industry. One company is looking to cut down on the number of glass bottles while creating jobs. We'll tell you how. Plus, one medical clinic in Knoll, Missouri is making sure Tyson laid-off employees are taken care of when they lose their health insurance in October. And a Joplin Art Gallery is giving back to the Ronald McDonald House. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
And thank you for joining us at KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5, and Chris and I will see you in the morning.